What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we've got a few random things on the list, including making this wheel look like this. So it doesn't matter whether you're rattle canning something or you're doing a crazy custom paint job in a really fancy spray booth. Good paint always comes down to good prep work. So that's what we're gonna do now. I've got some green Scotch-Brite pads. I'm just gonna scuff up the surface of the wheel and give this new paint something to bite to. Now I'm pretty lucky because this wheel is nearly new. The finish is pretty much perfect, so all I really have to do is scuff it up. If it did have some imperfections, some chips or some curb rash or something, you'd wanna sand that out prior to anything else. So I'm gonna get to work and get this thing ready for some paint. All right, a few things have changed since that time lapse. I got lazy. The green Scotch-Brite, they work just fine, but it kind of takes a while, so I decided to knock out the major surface area of the wheel with a DA, just a standard orbital sander and some 220 grit. So pretty high grit. The scratches are gonna be just as fine, if not finer than the Scotch-Brite there. And I also took off the original stickers. So this had like two little SSR stickers. Using this guy. This is an eraser wheel. It's basically just a big rubber wheel. Great tool for taking off stickers or decals or anything like that on cars, wheels, whatever the case may be. I would just warn you, if you question your paint's integrity, don't use this or use it very carefully. Years ago, I used it on a car with original 30-year-old paint to take off some pinstripes, and it took the paint off with it. So be careful there. But on a brand new wheel, it works really well. There used to be an SSR sticker right along here. All this like yellow dust is from the eraser wheel itself, but you can see it took it all off, left a nice smooth finish, didn't mess with the paint at all. And like I said, I just used a DA to sand the major part of the wheel. I have to get in like these areas and do that by hand, but we're almost ready for paint. With them all cleaned up, we can get a good look at the prep work we did. You can see most of it is pretty flat. You can kind of tell it's not shiny, which is exactly what we want. There are a few areas that can use a bit of work that just need a once over with the sandpaper, but for the most part, I would say this thing's just about ready to paint. All right, here's a look at the end result compared to the original black one. I think it turned out pretty good. The wheel is back on the car. It looks great. Next thing I want to do is check the alignment. So I've been street driving this car a little here, a little there, and the alignment's definitely not great. Now I kind of just eyeballed it before we went to the track, and obviously I'm at the mercy of factory arms in the rear. Since this car is a bit lowered, I can't get the alignment perfect, but it definitely feels like it's dog-legging a little bit, like the back end is kind of sideways compared to the front. So I'm gonna run some strings and do a quick string alignment and see if I can get it a little bit better. All right, so what is a string alignment and why are we doing it? Well, as you can see, it's done with strings. So we have a string running the length of the car, tried to keep it relatively even with the car. And the benefit here is we can now measure the distance from the string to the wheel on the front and the back of the wheel. Now it's similar to toe plates. You're measuring the front and the back of the wheel just like you do with toe plates. The difference between a string alignment and toe plates is measuring the overall toe, meaning the toe of the entire rear of the car or front, whatever you're doing. Whereas doing it with a string, you can measure individual corners. So I'm able to measure the toe on the passenger rear and then compare that to the toe on the driver's rear and see if they're different. And if they are different, that would cause the car to dogleg like it is right now. So I'm gonna get into measuring and we're gonna see where we're at.
346 minutes later.
Well, didn't exactly accomplish what I set out to do. I got the front alignment a bit better. It was a little off, more so than I thought at least. The rear, it's maxed out. The factory adjustments are totally maxed out and it's still pretty far off. And I think that's the main reason the car kind of doglegs. Yeah, so I can't fix it until I buy adjustable arms, which also means buying new coilovers, which is a few $1,000s and not gonna happen anytime soon. So I'm just gonna live with the way it is for now and hope that my tires don't wear too bad, which they didn't at the track, so I think I'll be okay, but I know there's a lot of room for improvement with the alignment of this thing. Anyways, I'm gonna go take it around the block and make sure I didn't ruin it by adjusting the little bit that I did. I also have some new headlights for this thing, or headlight bulbs rather. The bulbs were mismatch and one was burnt out. It would only work on the high beams. So to have mismatch high beams is just asking to get pulled over. So I'm gonna swap those out. And then I've got a new camera mount solution that I wanna test out. So hopefully the next bit will be some driving clips, unless the alignment adjustments I made are terrible and this thing's a death trap, then maybe not. Stay tuned. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Nothing goes as easy as it should. These headlights are so retarded. I didn't realize they were factory HIDs and the wiring is totally different. The bulbs are totally different. One of them is snapped. That's why it doesn't work. The high beams are separate and they look like they were drilled into the back of the headlight by a 4th grader. I don't know what that's about. I don't understand any of it. I would like to throw these headlights in the trash and get some like eBay headlights that use regular bulbs. I know the early model cars, like 03 and 04s, came without HIDs. I think they were just a regular headlight, so maybe I'll try and get some of those, and then I don't really know how the wiring is gonna work. So I'm gonna look into all that in the future. As of now, I only have one headlight. For some reason, the other side that only had the high beam that worked no longer works. I don't get it. I'm over it. I'm not gonna drive this thing tonight, I guess. I mean, I'll drive it while the sun's up, but I'll just have to be home before it gets dark, so. That's really annoying. The alignment's really annoying, but hey, at least one of the wheels looks cool. All right, we're in the Z. We're out on the road. I've got a cool new camera mount I want to try out. Let me know what you guys think. you can see, I'm back home. Man, that was so much fun. It's been a long time since I've done anything like that. That was definitely on a closed course in a different country and totally legal. In all seriousness though, I'm a little bummed the camera angle didn't come out perfect. As you saw, it was pointed a little bit too high. My fault, I didn't verify it. I just turned the camera on and started shredding. Oh well. Easy thing to adjust for next time. I do want to show you the camera mount. It's nothing that I came up with, so big shout out to Item B on Instagram and YouTube. This was his brainchild. Let me show you what it is. So in an effort to replicate a helmet cam, he came up with this. These are some cheap Ear Pro. Drilled some holes in them, gutted the foam that's on the inside, and then just mounted a GoPro to the side. Pretty perfect solution, because obviously no one's gonna wear a helmet while driving on the streets. And all the other mounts just don't look as cool. It's cool when the camera follows your head as you're looking around. Like I said, I just have to point this one in the right direction. So super cool idea. I'm really happy with it. These were just some cheap Ear Pro I had laying around, so literally didn't cost anything. That is going to be a wrap to today's video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I am so happy to have some matching front wheels, and it's always fun to go out and shred a bit. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, be sure to subscribe. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.